Nobody on the Zoom?
Oh,
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, let's bring the building committee's meeting for October to order. Right, confirmation proper notice.
Notice posted last week on the 7th as statutory requires.
Roll call.
We have Mr. Abdul, Mr. Smith, and Ms. Harder.
There we go.
Anybody on Zoom?
no, just you and me.
Speak now or forever hold your peace.
Nope, no one else.
And we have an esteemed board member here, Tiffany.
All right, everybody read the minutes?
Yep.
Any issues with them? No? I hear a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve. the
Deb makes
minutes.
a motion. Second? Very good. We good on that? All right. Hurricane damage.
Give you a little bit of report.
Yeah, give us a little.
Steve and I have traveled hither and yon for a long period of time after that storm. Most of it was in the vegetative state, as you know. But some of the vegetative trees clumped into the buildings. And the worst damage was 514, where a northern pine fell, and thank God didn't go through the roof, but it was held up. About 80-foot tall tree. They had to cut it in big sections to take it down, but in doing so, issues happened with the roof. We filled, if you will, almost 56 holes, little minor holes that developed through.
Just probably from the limbs,
Yeah,
little limbs falling when
Limbs.
they were cutting them off.
and so that's been repaired to the tune of about $580. We also had a window break by
palm tree.
476, which on November 2nd will be replaced. Haven't seen a bill on that yet. We have had some leaks at 506 and 813, both of which were fixed by Manson Roofing for $470. So for building expenses, we got away rather reasonable.
Yeah.
Were
For
those for
grounds
trees
and
or-
removal expenses, we're pushing $40,000.
Not my budget.
Not your budget. Not this, with this hat,
Yeah,
with the other hat.
overall, it is all of our
Yeah,
budgets.
with the other hat that you wear,
Yeah.
that's in your budget.
Ooh. Ah,
And we're, just to give you all an update, we are cleaning the backs now. All of 500, 600, and 400s have been cleared. We're working on 3. We hope to have everything cleared totally by Friday.
Very good. That is excellent. I just had dinner yesterday with my son-in-law's mom, who works for the Catholic Church, and she's in charge of disaster. She's one of the vice presidents. She's been down. It's Annabelle Island for the last, and Fort Myers Beach for the last 3 weeks. And the pictures that she showed me are just.
Was there any, did they completely evacuate Sanibel? Or were there people that
There
stayed out?
there
were
were people
people
that
that stayed.
stayed.
Jesus.
They were advised to evacuate.
Some of them drowned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did they?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Were they part of the?
There was
flood?
about 70 that didn't make it.
Wow.
but wow, did we ever get off easy? Whew.
The little path over to pool number 4 from the road, there's a big area that's all cleared out.
We could put another building there. It's so big. We lost 7 trees in there.
Okay.
Wow.
And that's
That
the
was
ones
one
that
went
crashed.
through the window.
They would have cracked, I saw
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know there was that much open space there.
And she was there.
Well, there
There
wasn't.
It was open with
It was a
trees.
banyan tree or
Jacaranda, Jacaranda and, well, probably 3 jacarandas and a banyan tree and a oak.
Wow.
Yeah,
It
it
was
was,
there.
And that lady was home when that went into
Yeah.
her window. That
Yeah.
had scared her.
she handled it really well. She called in
Mhm.
and then who was on duty? Jeff?
Jeff,
And she said, no, you don't have to come out. I'm putting some plastic over it.
And she's almost near 100, isn't she?
yeah, she's about 97.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's, give her a lot of credit.
Yeah.
She certainly didn't panic.
Huh?
And she didn't panic last Saturday when the potable water line blew and it was shot the water 40 feet up in the air.
Over there again. Now,
Yeah.
it was at the end on the driveway
there.
side that it went during Irma.
This
Because
did,
Bruce and I went over and the lady upstairs came out with her coffee pot in hand and said, "Has anybody know why I don't have any water for my coffee?" I thought, why don't you look around your building if you can't. Jeez. Like a
Okay.
geyser.
All right, moving right along. Last time we talked about sort of updating our list because we're having so many issues with people when they're not here. So I asked everybody to put something together and maybe we can add to or, I mean, the list that we have is a very good one, actually. I read it. But there are some things that I felt could be added.
I thought
it
there-
never hurts to, double check and. what
Yeah, I
have you.
mean, I take care of a couple places when people are gone and my cluster. I found that some of the things that I do aren't on that list. And I'm happy to say that those people are very happy with the results when they come back. So I made a list. I don't know if anybody else gets around to,
I saw this list and I don't need to do some of those things.
I know, it's just,
But I also had a couple of questions about what you've written.
About the published list, yes,
Yeah.
okay.
okay. What do you got?
Well, on the first page, all hints with closing, about the third line down, set the auto coolant temperature at least 80 degrees. I was told 75 and 55% on the
Humidistat.
humidistats, 75 and 55, and they've got
80.
80 and 65%. And I have a question with this word a minimum. If you have a humidistat, set it at a minimum of 65. That could be misleading. Does that mean more than 65 or less than? So I said lower, 65 or lower. I think it's more specific.
You know, yeah,
And not
I could
everybody's
go-
got humidistats.
yeah, that's very true.
And then that was about.
But what you're
thing, but I
proposing,
really question that
Colin, are you saying then, if you have a humidistat, set it at 65% or lower and get rid of a minimum of,
Yes.
what you're thinking, okay?
I just
I don't-
said, what's minimum mean? There, you could take it either way.
Yeah.
And I'm surprised at 65%. Don't you get mold at 65%?
You can get mold when you're living there.
Yeah.
If I don't put Rid-X,
Damp-rid.
Damp-Rid,
Yeah.
Rid-X. I'm thinking of the back when I had a
Yeah, right,
septic
you're
system up
septic
north.
system, yeah.
Ah.
Exactly, I know.
But, yeah. If I don't have Damp-Rid in my closet year round,
Sure.
You get
I
mold.
get on my leather shoes, which I never wear, but they sit there
Yeah.
real nice. I walked in there one time, picked up my shoe and
You didn't know you had green shoes?
yeah.
Okay,
gotta
well,
be-
that was the only issue I really had with
Yeah.
anything.
So,
I'm
you know, that's
surprised
just a,
it's pretty thorough.
yeah, it is, it is.
Vacuum upholstered furnishings to get rid of mold spores. I don't do that. I didn't know you should. That's over on page 3.
Yeah.
That's it. And duct tape on the drains?
Well, the reason you would duct tape the drain is to keep
keep the bugs
creepy
out.
crawlies out.
Oh, I know. I put
Say, Chad?
a pan over it or something. Yes, I do.
Yeah,
Something heavy.
we're finally getting our coordinating security camera machine back.
Ooh, very good. Yeah, I, the minimum, it's just a little word change.
Yeah, that was the only thing I had really. And I just did this to prove that I read it.
Well, let me ask you, in looking at this, Steve, your addition of turn off your ice maker, I don't think it's on the major list, is it?
If you turn off your water, there's if you unplug your refrigerator.
Well,
No, I
Uh,
was told
I mean-
not to unplug the refrigerator.
Yeah, I
it
know.
says clean refrigerator and freezer, but it doesn't say turn off the ice maker.
Well, if you turn off your water, sometimes the ice maker will expel its ice and then it doesn't get any more water in it, but it's freezing. And I've had some people come back where they won't work until they
Yeah.
defrost the entire refrigerator.
Right.
So,
That's good.
yeah, and that's usually just a matter of flipping that handle off.
So yeah,
This is probably.
so
more
we should
thorough
add
than-
that to
more
the major
thorough than
list,
Anybody does.
right?
Yeah.
All right.
In fact, there was a friend of mine did that and it cost him a $65 service call
New ice
from
maker.
it was just a service call for some guy to come out and tell him, "Huh, unplug your refrigerator, let it unplug, in other words, you got to defrost everything, do something with your food. And, let it totally thaw out for a whole day, 24 hours, and then plug it back in and it'll work fine."
Give me $65.
So, yeah, exactly. And by the way, here's my bill.
I think the other thing you have here is the damp rid.
The damp rid, I mean, that just works.
That's slick.
Yeah.
That should go in
And
there.
It just, I just empty the water out, put some more crystals in.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
What else I got here?
Well, draining I think you got draining the dehumidifier in the kitchen sink.
Yeah, if you have a dehumidifier, that's even
If you
greater.
have it though, because
you
some
have it.
people have let it
We have it.
on the floor.
Well, you can have put it in the shower stall.
Well, you
Yes.
can, but
I was gonna say, that
That
was the
way-
one thing, it said the kitchen sink. Now, if you've got a bigger unit that's got kind of that the bathroom was in the back
Yeah.
and
you
the
can just put
closet
it
and
back
everything
there.
like that, we put it back there because
Yeah,
that was the
back in the
more,
closets,
less
probably, yeah.
circulated area.
Yeah, my neighbor he just puts his right in the kitchen. But it seems
Right.
to work fairly well.
so we should add that to the list.
Yeah, if you have a dehumidifier, it's a
Yeah.
good idea.
What page are we on?
We're on
Mine.
the other list, the list that
That I made up.
that he made up. That's so
The large
you
print.
may not have gotten that when you walked in because you said you had everything.
I didn't get that.
Yeah.
Oh, bless you. Thank you.
A lot of people, completely enclose the toilets and tape off drains. As long as you keep water in the traps, if you know anything about plumbing, nothing will come up out of the sewer system. Problem is when you're not there for 6 months, the water that's in that little trap
Evaporates.
area evaporates
Right.
out.
Yeah,
And then here comes whatever wants to come up through,
yeah.
can come up through. I just literally turn the water on and flush the toilets, run a little water in the sink, the shower, and the tub, just to keep water in those traps, and that works
And
too.
you don't cover them.
So I think we should add 4, 6, 8, 11, and 12 to the list. I think that you've given us a complete list there, Steve. Good adds.
What's 8?
8 would be a
If you have the
dehumidifier,
dehumidifier.
put it in a drainable area.
Yeah.
Don't necessarily have to say the sink, but a place with heavy
Yeah,
drain.
yeah.
And 11 is a house watcher. Check the damp rib if you're gonna have a house watcher.
If you don't have a house watcher, you're just not a really smart person, in my opinion.
You're absolutely right.
And that's one of the probably biggest problems, it's,
The other thing you can get is
Um,
the big buckets.
Go ahead, Catherine.
Well, I was wondering if owners are being reminded that if they're going to have a house sitter, that they let the office know, and especially the contact information, because what if we need to get in there? And I know a lot of times when I was working there, I tried to do that.
Well, we have a complete set of keys, obviously. and emergency numbers on every unit. If you're saying that we should add, if you're gonna have a house watcher, who that house washer is in case we can get quicker accessibility, not a bad idea.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I think.
I thought that was probably already a common sense thing, but evidently
Yeah,
not.
all right. Add house watcher, Name.
Info to office.
yeah. Okay,
Anything, anybody else have anything or do you think there's any other changes that need to be made to the,
Oh, I think I do.
I'm looking at, I mean, a lot of stuff on the list is,
a little, couple of redundancies, but it
Yeah.
doesn't hurt to mention the same thing a couple times.
yeah,
Some people have put in push button or front door locks.
Yeah,
You have a key, but do you have that combination?
yes, we
Yeah.
do. We do it for the, we have it for the pest control.
Okay.
I don't know of any that we don't have. Let's put it that way, but that's a good point.
If you use a key when you have a push button,
No, what I'm saying is usually we have a key, but we also have the code.
yeah, okay. I didn't realize that you couldn't override the code with the key.
You can,
Okay,
yeah, you can.
okay, because, yeah, because we use the code on this door, but that wasn't one we put in.
Yeah, yeah. No, I have a key and a code.
Okay.
If the electric goes down, no, it's battery. If the battery
Yeah,
fails, you know, I have a hidden key
So
outside.
if you should forget the number, you can use your key to get in, is what I'm thinking, right?
If you're crawling up to the door, trying to find the handle, I use the key.
yeah. Well, they do have
Yeah, you
something.
should add, we maybe should add to that list, check your battery on your electronic door.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Because when
Because
it
it
goes,
says, what, if they fail, they fail.
Oh, yeah.
yep,
Yeah,
Yep.
that's a good idea.
okay, I got that. That's a good one, Catherine. Thanks.
Do we, when people come in, usually they come in to tell Maggie when they're leaving?
Yeah, I would say
We-
a
They
good,
need to be handed a list, just a copy of this right then. Say, listen, here.
we could do that
Are you
Yeah.
ready to go? Are you really
Yeah.
ready?
Yeah,
versus remembering you got it when you
Yeah.
when you were interviewed or when you
Exactly.
came in.
and maybe just,
Yeah,
you know,
well, I
maybe
think that's
say,
why we're doing it.
do you have somebody who watches your place?
Yeah.
Oh, you
I think-
don't? You know, and then, hey, we got some guys. It's really a smart idea.
Well, I think it's a good idea because that's why we're updating it, but we want to get it in
Yeah,
everybody's
you gotta get it
hands.
in everybody's hands because
Right.
not everybody,
If we
I
just,
mean, that's the first time I've ever gone online and looked at that.
Yeah, exactly, me too.
so if you,
Yeah,
you know,
well,
if we
word of
just,
mouth.
if we just update it and don't give it to anybody.
Yeah,
I should say. I read the entire bylaws back when I came down full time.
Very
yeah,
impressive.
but how many years ago was that?
Yeah, it's 6
Yeah.
years.
They're in a
Right.
safe place, right?
Yeah. Yeah, they're in my file cabinet. But yeah, that's the first time I've really gone over this list thoroughly. And,
Okay.
there's some good things on the list that I didn't really think about much. Will you,
Want to update about,
Yeah.
on 559? 559 is the termite place, as you know. They have put the cistern boards up. They failed electrical inspection because the prior owner had put some sort of contraption there for the some kind of connection problem for the fans, but Lee was able to take care of that with a minor addition. And so we've now passed the electrical inspection. and we're starting to work the drywall.
Great, that's fantastic. Yeah, that-
Also, 571, I had a shower valve leak in the behind. Filled up the unit a lot bad. I mean, it rather flooded it pretty bad,
Really?
And they weren't here?
and they weren't here. He flew in right away and chose to take the green trucks. I can never remember their name. Surf Pro. And they're submitted us a proposal for $6,000 to replace drywall. So I put a stop to that, and I won't approve it. I'm getting at least one more quote from our drywall guy before we move forward.
Very good.
571 is a little bit upset that I'm not letting it go forward, but I think Surf Pro is known to be on the high
Really
side of
high.
things to start with.
Yeah.
And
Is
so as I intend to go ahead with that. Okay.
Okay.
Also, other building issues is that we still have those little concrete damages from the various lightning storms, one over 304 and then one in the 700s. And Dave, I called him. He was supposed. He kind of said he was going to come Friday, but he
Yeah.
didn't. I called him, and all I've got is his answering service. So I'll call him again today, just to give you an update on a couple of things.
Yeah, good. Any other issues we have?
I had a question. I'm not sure that it's buildings, but out behind my courtyard, there is those, they're PVC pods that have electrical work in them.
Mhm.
And one of them doesn't have a cover on it.
Okay, those are probably cable boxes. Yeah,
They're green.
No, they're pink.
Is it flush?
pink.
Yeah,
Is it flush to the ground or
Yeah.
sticking up?
no, it's flush to the ground and the wires are down inside it.
Oh, there's
That's
no
probably
cover on it?
that's
No,
probably
it
a
doesn't
drain.
have a cover.
Ooh.
Are you sure it's not a drain, a sump pump drain?
No, it's got wires in it.
I'll look at it.
Yeah. Let's see,
Yeah.
we can look at that.
We'll look at that. That's behind of
It's off
260?
my corner, yeah.
260.
250 is our unit,
250.
yeah.
Okay, we'll look.
Anything else? Colin, you got anything?
No.
Want to set a November meeting?
You got something?
Just one thing.
Yeah, go.
Tom wasn't able to be here today since he's on vacation, so I wanted to come and just voice my support for his idea to better secure the panels to the tops of the carport. I know some blew down during Hurricane Irma in 2017 and damaged the top of his car. This year's more fell down. My car was totaled by my insurance. I'm still trying to negotiate with them, and I know the man who lives next to me, his car looked even worse than mine. Thankfully, it was newer, so I don't think he got the totaling verdict. But anyways, it's been causes some property damage with the way that they're currently fastened with the staples. I know some places do have them screwed in, but I would propose that the building committee push a initiative to have them all screwed in to make them more secure during high wind events.
I suppose.
What did it fall off? How did it total your car? I
just-
don't understand that.
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
we have
just scratched
scratches
it.
on ours from Irma,
Mm-hmm.
but I mean, scratches can be mended.
Yeah, well, but my car in particular, half of it fell down. And so during the whole storm, it was just whipping against my car and scratched the entire thing down to the metal, scratched the glass. I mean, everything.
Oh, it broke the
is-
glass too?
It
No,
didn't
just
break, it
scratched.
just scratched it.
Uh-huh.
But, it would involve a whole repaint in order to seal it again. But and it was very similar for Ron, the guy who lived next to me, and that also happened over his car. But also the panels, a lot of them blew out and were just sort of like whipping around the community. And I know that when we took our dogs out for a potty break, you know, and they were still kind of flying a little bit, it was like, oh my gosh, if somebody came out, that could slice someone real bad. And even Thomas, it had boarded him in. There were 3 of the panels that had gone up against his front patio that he had to clear out in order to get out of his house after the storm was over. And he had to come out with gloves because the edges are so sharp on those things.
Yeah.
So anyways, I support Tom's idea to secure them with something a little bit more substantial than screws.
Yeah. Well, we are. And all the ones that have come out are being put up with screws now.
Yeah. But I'd love to see a neighborhood-wide initiative so that everyone's is more secure for the next storm. We've got time.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
we've got time.
There has to be something that maybe we can get Jim or one of the guys to work on when
Yeah.
there's time.
Justin. Shh. Shh, shh, shh. No, it's all right.
Apparently Dusty doesn't like the idea.
He's raising his objective.
How long does it take to screw up?
Oh,
say,
my goodness, those are singles. I mean,
10 unit.
It would take a lot of time.
a lot of time.
I mean, it was something we probably couldn't put somebody on just doing that unless we hired somebody.
Yeah.
But if we can do a little bit here and a little bit there, and
I'm thinking all that's overhead work and then maybe 2 people at a time sometimes.
Well, yeah, the trouble is we're at all-time low on help,
yeah, we're 2 people.
but it
down.
has to be done, I agree, you know. But
And the
as a matter of
panels that are
fact,
being replaced are,
Yeah.
we're doing with vinyl.
Yeah.
So,
That would be a
Yeah.
improvement. Yeah.
also to let you know about that, as you well know, John Mercer's no longer here. We've been scrambling to see if he can be replaced. I haven't found anybody yet, but I did receive a call from a gentleman today who has a long 10 to 12 year experience working as handyman in buildings, with buildings. Unfortunately, his parents have some issues in Sanibel, and he's down there for the next 2 weeks, but he's interested in talking about us coming to work. So he sounds like the type of guy we need. So it's encouraging, but he's a couple weeks away. But right now, Jeff and Ed are doing a yeoman's job of getting the fences back together, and Jim's taking care of the ceiling panels. And so we're getting that kind of stuff done. And just to let you know.
all right, nothing else? No, we don't have any owners online, so.
My suggestion would be for consideration, since you've got Thanksgiving coming up, and of course, Christmas month gets crazy, that maybe we hold the next meeting on the 30th of November. It would be late in the month, but it could serve as a November, December type meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And because our normal would be Thanksgiving
we-
Wednesday,
yeah.
and that,
No.
so if we go to the 30th, we can cover 2 meetings at once,
That's
as a
sounds
thought,
fine.
as a
I
thought.
think that's reasonable.
That's a
Yeah.
good idea. Well,
10 o'clock.
Yeah,
make that so.
okay, 10 a.m. on Wednesday, the 30th.
Good. Put that in my calendar. Anything else?
Anything else?
Call for German?
I think this was swell. Yes, I moved. She moved,
I'll
we
second.
adjourned. And I'll okay, we're finished.
All right, very good.
I'm
Thank you
sure
all.
you've heard that the pool heater is not working.
Yeah, pool here, we got the spa heater working. Both pool and spa heater were out. And
Well,
we,
you have some many other things to do. I went over there for the first time 3 or 4 days. It was
Yeah.
like swimming in Lake Michigan. It was
Yeah.
too cold.
yeah,
But we
We
have some
get
other
so
serious
spoiled.
issues around here that's not.
well, we could fix, we took care of the spa heater today in-house. But Lowell has to come in and take care of it. There's a relay that's gone. He has to replace the relay on the pool heater.
Okay.
So hopefully tomorrow will be back up.
I have a solution for you. Walk across the parking lot,
I
up
know.
through the